Hey everyone, Jason Owens here for Campaign Sauce Digital Marketing. I hope you are having a fantastic day today, and I hope that this video case study will actually make it even better. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, a lot of the clients that I work with are, of course, in the e-commerce field, and most of the clients that I work with make things with their hands, right? They end up having this idea, they pull it out of their head, they create something with their hands. This could be painting, this could be woodworking, this can be a number of items, number of things, number of areas here in the handcrafted world. And then they want to sell these things online. Okay. So one of the struggles that people run into a lot is this thing called a Google G10 parameter, right? And this actually has to do with how you list things in your Shopify store, especially when that Shopify store is connected over to Google, right? So you have some kind of a Google integration in your online store. And I tell you what, we've had a lot of luck with this. It was actually quite hard to figure out, but we applied a little bit of secret sauce here, and we were able to have some really big breakthroughs here. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through a little bit of how we did it and invite you, if you have any issues, to go ahead and let us help you solve them. So here we go. All right, so here we are, Google Shopping ad. Now, first off, yes, this picture is about ads, but you can have a lot of traction on Google without running an ad, okay? And we're going to show you a little bit about how to do that. It's basically called organic traffic. Well, how do you get your products to show up here? In this case, you're seeing a lot of items here that are having ads run, and you know that, of course, because it says ads, right? And all of these product items here, these guys are pulled from something called Google Merchant Center. And Shopify does an amazing job of taking products that you have listed in your store and integrating them into this Google Merchant Center. However, there's a little bit of a special hitch if you have a handmade item, something that doesn't come from any other brand registry, something that is doesn't have a barcode assigned to it, and it's yours, right? You just created this thing, right? And you just listed it on your store. You took some pictures of it. Well, there's a couple special things that you have to do in order to make it quote unquote Google friendly so that you can start getting some organic traffic and possibly even start running some ads if you want to. So let's dig into that. So again, here's Google Merchant Center, and this is a piece that kind of you get for free. So you could be over in your Shopify store, and when you hook up this Google integration, this actually happens in the background for you, okay? It's kind of fun and kind of convenient that way, that you don't have to do a whole lot of getting your hands into this, right? It's not like one more thing that you have to deal with. So Shopify does a lot of this for you in the background. They set up this Google Merchant Center account and then they sync all of your products from Shopify over here into the Google Merchant Center. And this is where the hitch comes in the get along here, guys, is that whenever you don't have stuff in Shopify, it can't make its way over to the Merchant Center. And that's where a lot of my clients end up initially having the issue and why they approach us. So for example here, this is one listing that is inside of Google Merchant Center. And you can see down here, it's like, hey, this thing's getting limited performance. Do you want to see what we recommend? Well, I'll show you a little bit about this here in a second, but you could just go through item after item after item and go, why in the world am I not getting any traction here? Well, you log into Google Merchant Center and you might see a screen that looks like this. Okay, holy cow. Limited performance due to missing identifiers. In this case, a GTIN, MPN, that's manufacturer part number, or a brand. In this particular case, a client approached us with almost 1,200 products in their store that weren't getting any love from Google because they ended up having, just wasn't the right information. And you can see percent affected past clicks, right? 92% of the clicks that should have been coming into the store maybe weren't really making it because of limited performance here, okay? Yeah, so that's kind of an issue. So if we solve this, I wonder what that would do to the bottom line of the store. Well, let's dig into it. So anyway, I ended up doing a lot of research into this and kind of digging in, and I'm like, okay. So I went back and I listed a brand, and I went ahead and put in a part number, and I'm like, wait a minute. Examples of products that may not have a GTIN code include blah, blah, blah. Custom-made products, custom t-shirts, art, handmade goods, all right? This is 98% of my clients fit into this bucket. But still, it's like, why in the world isn't this working, right? So I went in and I put in a manufacturer's part number, right? We kind of had to make up something, right? Put in a SKU or whatever. And it wasn't really flowing. So we just couldn't really figure out, even though we thought we were doing everything that we needed to do, it still just wasn't going over. We weren't seeing that 1,200 product number go down. All right, so what we ended up doing was over inside of Google Merchant Center. We're like, so let's go ahead and see what they suggest. So we clicked on the button there. This guy opens up to the side. All right, click this checkbox here for one-of-a-kind identifier. All right, so anyways, what to do? Add a brand and either blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, and we're still doing this, but again, we're still not seeing the issue correct itself inside of the Merchant Center. So what we ended up finding out that worked out really well, this is an example here. So we have a product here called Holy Spirit Dove, and of course we've redacted some of that for privacy. So Holy Spirit Dove, we ended up going into Shopify. You can see this drop-down box right here. This allows us to go over to the Google Fields area. Interesting. Let's dig into this. So we went into Google Fields and found an area to go ahead and enter in all of the good stuff, right? So we're inside of Shopify now, entering this data in by hand. Yes, this is a custom product. Even though we shouldn't need this, we went ahead and mocked up and started using a quote-unquote manufacturer part number, right? This is basically a SKU that we created for the store. You know, it's pretty easy stuff that you can make up a SKU. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of rhyme or reason to it, but we wanted to make sure that that field was populated. And there's a whole long kind of story behind if you want to create some kind of a way to have this thing make sense for your store. Well, that's kind of beyond the scope of this video. The big point is you have to check the box and put something in this text box. And we ended up doing that. We did that in bulk, and that's, again, a bit of the secret sauce because I'm not going to do 1,200 of these things by hand. So we ended up finding a way to do this in bulk, and that was really what helped break the logjam for this particular customer. And as you notice here, now we gave Google a day or two after we made the adjustments, went back into Google Merchant Center, and we're like, notice all this white space here. That's because there's nothing there, right? So you can see here, we didn't do any type of fix on this particular product. But the Holy Spirit Dove, we had 3 flavors of that product. Every one of them are now good to go. We're not restricted in that world anymore. So that guy is now able to serve on an organic sense. And of course, we can start running ads on it if we want to. So this is the exact slide that I showed one of my clients. I'm like, hey, it's been a little bit since we went ahead and made all those changes to that roughly 1,200 products. Are you guys seeing what's happening now in the store? So we pulled up these orders, right? And I think this is roughly about a day's worth of progress through this particular store. And again, I'll kind of save you some of the long drawn out details behind this, but there is a way that you can go into a particular sale and you can look up parameters and figure out, hey, inside of Shopify, where did this order come from? And you can look up these parameters on each of your orders. So what I'm looking for here is SAG organic, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I mean, there's several other in here that are the SAG organic that I'm really excited about. Why? Because these dollars came through these ads that are showing up here, okay? Now, when I say ads, what I mean is really is like an organic search result. So somebody was out searching on particular keywords, and because Google wasn't restricting those products anymore, these guys started coming up in organic search results, right? These products were just there up at the top. So anyway, it's really cool. So when we went through, and again, this is just a bit of a screen snippet here on all of the orders, but what we found on that particular improvement for that one day, 29% of the dollars coming through this Shopify store were coming from organic search. All of these products now were no longer restricted from being seen on Google because we fixed that GTIN parameter issue. and we were able to create a manufacturer part number in there, and we ended up getting kind of breaking the log jam there and allowing these products their rightful place out on Google. And that really helped this particular store with real measurable dollars, right? So you see, for that particular period, I think that may have been a day, can't really remember, but for that particular period, almost 30% of the revenue can be tied right back to organic listings on Google, and that is a result of solving this G10 issue. So anyway, with that, you guys, my name is Jason Owens. If we can help you solve this problem for your store, please reach out to us over at Campaign Sauce Digital Marketing. You can reach us at campaignsauce.com. Go over there, and you want to look down into, it's probably that corner, the lower right corner, and you will end up seeing a chat bot, so you can reach out to us there, or you can drop us a line at jason@campaignSauce.com. All right, look forward to hearing from you guys. Take care, everyone.